Yo, what's going on? Happy New Year's, January 1st, into the 2024 year. It's your boy Trillionaire Chuck, here with another take. And so I thought about what I was going to say and do. So I'm basically going to discuss like the plans for the Heartbeat Arena podcast that's going to be uh, showing on the 23rd of January. And so basically, uh, so like the studio and everything, I'm probably gonna end up doing that a little later on, where we're gonna be actually inside of the studio, me and my co-host and everything of that nature. Once the channel and everything, builds up and stuff, and still gonna have the same regular format, talking about fashion, sports, and relationship topics. But most so for like the first couple of episodes is going to be me until the studio and everything gets ready, or until we actually have enough audience, enough subscribers and views to go and get the studio and everything like that. So I'll just be keeping y'all updated on that. Uh, that's the plan. So like Heartbeat Arena, the actual podcast, is going to start off with just basically with me, and I'm gonna build it up from there. And then once it gets built up and everything, then that's when we're gonna go and go into the studio and have me, my co-host and everything. We're gonna be in the studio and stuff like that. We're gonna be covering the topics and all that stuff, and just make it's gonna be really it's gonna be really good. But again, gotta build it up and stuff. So and as stated, I will keep you all updated with it. Ooh, like my headset's crooked on here, and I'm gonna be going back live soon. I'm waiting to get this camera on my laptop and stuff, because the built-in one, if you saw the one too many drinks, that it was so blurry and stuff. I didn't like it and stuff like that. So once I get my camera, I'm gonna be going live again. So be on the lookout for that. So those are just a few things I want to tell you all that's going on. Uh, Other than that, I'm gonna drop content every single day. So like Monday all the way up till Friday, I'm gonna be doing a take. One's gonna be on sports. One it might be fashion. It might be relationship advice, or just an experience I had. I don't know. That's gonna drop. So when it drops, then if you're subscribed to this channel, to my personal channel, then you'll be alerted. Or if you follow me on social media and stuff like that, you'll be alerted. So that way, once it's up, bam, you can go ahead, watch it, share it to friends, family members, and everything like that. 2024 is gonna be interesting for this year. We came out of 2023, and so we're gonna start 2024 off right. I hope you all wrote down your goals for this year and what it is that you're trying to achieve, because life is short, and 2023 was rough, but you got to come in this year with a game plan. The reason I say life is short is because uh, I was just watching the news about a lady who was 24 years old. She was driving for Lyft after Christmas. Two people shot and killed her on the west side of Chicago by Cicero. And one of my good friends had passed away right after Christmas and stuff like that. So it's kind of a lot. It was like it was hard for me to process it at first, because I was just with this person, a few weeks ago, and now it was like, even after New Year's, I was about to call and wish and say Happy New Year. Then I had to remember, like, they're no longer with us. So, my condolences and love goes out, of course, to that family and stuff like that. And so I had to, go over, pay my respects. We did a balloon release party for her, and you know, but let's not bring down the joy. I mean, 2024. Let's bring some excitement into this, okay, into this year. So, the reason of me doing this take is because I wanted to talk about just overseas. Let's talk about overseas basketball. You don't know how many times last year people came up to me and they were like, "Hey, what I got to do to play overseas? I want to play overseas and all that stuff." Granted, I had my tenure of playing in Mexico until COVID came, and I just wasn't able to go back because the pay was so low. And I played a little bit in El Salvador, and so all the videos and stuff is on my page if you want to take a look at some of the games, some of the highlights and stuff. But people ask me, and I tell them, well, going overseas is competition. It's a lot of politics, and I say it's competition because everybody wants to go over there. It's oversaturated, basically. Like, you may not take a pay that's 300 a month, round trip flight, apartment, all that stuff, but that's just what some countries can afford. You may not take the three, and you're coming in as a rookie. That's when I say 300, I mean 300 a month for 6 months. Some countries, some clubs, that's all they can afford to pay, and a American player. And some of you are probably sitting back like 300. That ain't nothing. I make more doing my truck driving or whatever. Okay, granted, yes, but you're over there to play basketball. No, okay, so you're over there to play basketball. That is your job. Now, with other incentives that they may have, they might say, hey, if you want to coach on the side, like little kids and stuff like that, that that could bring you in some extra money. Or if you want to work a job over there, that could also bring you in some extra money. But realistically, you want to get a deal where you're there to play basketball. The money you make covers your expenses because there's all types of levels when you're over there. And now, with the rules changing, some countries still going by, you can only have maybe one or two Americans per team. I know Mexico, I think they're trying to make it to where it's five Americans on a team and stuff like that. And so to be able to go overseas and play, first you got to be in shape. Okay, you have to be in basketball shape, and what I mean by that is you have to be able to play offense and defense effectively on both ends of the floor. Okay, without getting tired, because they're gonna play you the whole game basically. Depending on what team you're on, what club you're at, you might be the one taking all the shots, and they're expecting you to score like 30 a night. If you don't hit your numbers, guess what? You get sent home. It's like that. It's very, very, it's cutthroat. You get injured, getting sent home. Some clubs might still keep you, despite your injury, but most of them send you home. When your plane is going home, when you're on the flight home, there's another person coming to take your place. Contracts are year to year overseas. So you gotta be a professional over there. You go over there, you study film, you play basketball, you get your numbers, you don't piss nobody off over there. Okay? That's rule number one. So again, gotta be in game shape. Part two, you gotta be skilled at something. You have to be the skilled at shooting, skilled at dribbling, defense. You have to be skilled. And again, because there's so many players trying to go over there, you have to stand out. Now you have to. They're basically looking for guys, much taller. So like 6'4", 6'4" and up. Those guys are basically the ones that can go. If you guys are 6 feet, 6'1", 5'11", ugh, I don't know. You got to be extremely gifted to even get a call, to get a chance to go over, you know, because now you got a 6'8", 6'9" guy. He could play, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5. Certain leagues, whichever one he goes to, even from the bigger leagues to the smaller leagues and stuff. It's what the market is demanding. So you gotta go by what the market is demanding. If the market is demanding guys that has to be 6'6", 6'8", 40% 3-point shooter, can rebound and stuff like that. That's just what it is. If you're a 6'4" and you're trying to go, if that's not what they're asking for, looking for, don't even bother sending your resume, because they're gonna be like, okay, wait a minute, 6'4" asks for 6'6", they're gonna pass it along. So you gotta be skilled at something. Three, you gotta have a resume. If you're coming from a Division 1 school, averaging 10 points a game, you're more likely you're gonna be getting an offer to go overseas. Uh, D2, D3 in AIs. You might, depending on if your coach knows people, has those connections, you might have to go the route that I went through, which is go through a combine. And with combines, that's where the politics kicks in at. Some people got the connections, some don't. What I don't specifically like about combines is you have 100, you might have 100 guys there, and some people charge like $150, $100, or 500 to come to this tryout, right? And there's no scouts. No one's there. And you're like, where are the scouts at? Where's the general manager? Where's the head coach? Where's the owner of the team? And people say, oh, well, it's being recorded, it's live streamed across the world. I normally don't believe that, for the fact that each country has different time zones. And if all the coaches are watching the Division 1 players, the NBA and stuff like that, how are they going to have time to watch a combine? Of a bunch of no-namers that's looking to get a spot. You got to think about it for a moment. If I'm the owner of a team in Spain, right? Let's say I'm a middle level tier team, right? I'm looking for a big, or usually they always look for bigs in these countries. They always want bigs. I'm looking for a big. Okay, I'm looking at NBA. I'm looking at the D1 college, because that's mostly what I'm seeing on TV. And then now all of a sudden, some guy posts up, "Oh yeah, this is a combine I'm having," and I'm like, "Okay, who's the names?" It's people I don't know. Why would I watch it? Like, it doesn't make sense. What Another thing I don't like is, like, okay, be specific about what type of players these teams are looking for. Stop throwing a combine where it's like all, you know, is guards, forwards, and bigs. And it's like, well, if the team is looking for bigs, okay, then have a workout with just the bigs showing skill work and everything of that nature. And then, you bring them in for a scrimmage against, let's say, another team or something. You know, not just a bunch of randoms being put together. And they're like, oh, you guys are all competing for a contract. And now people get upset because they're like, damn, I ain't get the contract. Some people get mad when they don't get picked because one, you're not what the team was looking for. They was looking for bigs and you're a guard. So that right there, that player felt like he wasted his money because he went to this workout, he dominated, but the team wasn't looking for that position. So so I'll get to like how I would fix that issue. I probably already hinted on it. And so now we went over gotta be in shape, gotta be skilled at something. Your resume is everything, meaning what school you came from, what accolades and stuff like that. And you may have to go the combine route and stuff like that if that's the route you have to take. It is a grind. Um, Now with social media playing a big factor, it's about your following. How many people are following you while you're playing? If you generate a huge following, a team is gonna pick you up because they're like, well, he has a lot of eyeballs on him, so we're gonna pick him up so we can have a lot of people watching, coming out to watch, pay their money, to watch this person play. That's just the nature of the business. You got like so if you got like 15,000, 20,000, or 1 million followers, now you go over there and play in China. Everybody, if majority of if the people in China know who you are and they see how your following is, they're gonna come to the games, which means more money for the club, more money for the owner, and everything of that nature. So with being a pro, I mean, I ain't gonna spend too much time on this topic because really, it's the same thing everybody says. It's you're gonna be away from your family, okay, for what 6 months or a year. You gotta be okay with that. You know, you gotta be okay with being, by yourself because you're in another country. Adapt to the country. You might like that country. Build relationships out there. Again, contracts last or year by year, 6 months to a year a contract. So even though the team may not keep you on, another team might pick you up. Remember, the relationships you build out there can help you get your next job or can help you come back. So you got to have the right attitude. You got to be coachable. When we say coachable, is a coach could be able to come and talk to you, explain things, tell you how he wants it done. You go and execute, you get it done without arguing, without fighting back. You know, uh, so you can't be the one that's you feel like you don't need the team. Is that ain't how it work. You gotta build those connections because if you burn a bridge out there, whatever country you're at, coaches, owners, they talk. They talk about salaries, all of that. You burn that bridge with that one team, you might be sitting home for a year or two before another team even thinks about picking you up. If you attend a combine, You better be in game shape, man. Because if you ain't in no game shape, I done been to combines and I seen guys cramp up. I done seen guys throw up. I done seen guys get, twist an ankle, get injured, and they can't continue no more. And guess what happens? They don't get picked up. They get the thank you for your time. You know you're gonna get picked up when they pull you to the side and they start asking you about your information, getting your number, and all this other stuff. That's when it's like, all right, it's about that time. But if they don't talk to you after the workout, 9 times out of 10, they ain't picking you up. They ain't even probably, they ain't bothered to even look at you play. So you know, if you got an agent, a respectable agent, a legit agent, he's vouching for you and stuff like that when you're on these teams or he's trying to get your next job. So you got to make it so like, okay, you're playing, let's say you're playing in Chile. Okay, he got you the job in Chile. You have to do your part to perform out there so he could get your next job. His job is to make sure you're still playing. Once you're done playing, once that season's over with, all right, you're going to Denmark. Once that season's over with, all right, now you're going to Turkey. Once that's over, hey, I got a G League workout for you, a private G League workout. It's to keep you going. That's how some guys end up playing like 10 plus years overseas because they have a strong resume. They built the right connections. They were coachable. They were professional. You know, teams want them back. Hey, come on back. Yeah, we got, we'll pay you this. Come on back. And then there's guys who got kicked off teams because they were partying. They were doing drugs. They weren't in shape. They weren't performing. Because if you get kicked off for not performing, it's hard unless you're big to get back over there. You know? So you really think you want to play overseas? You really want to play across the waters where, family? Nah, that team over there, that's your family. They become your family. Them the guys you with every single day. So you gotta ask yourself, are you in the gym working on your craft? Are you working on your weaknesses? Huh? Be honest with yourself. We're not talking you're in the gym for 45 minutes and you just spot shooting and you're doing stationary ball handling. No. Are you perfecting a move? A go-to move? Are you understanding the game and how it's played? The angles? Are you in tip top shape? Are you running 5 miles, 10 miles, Monday through Friday? Are you lifting? Are you getting stronger? So when you take contact, you still can finish the layup because over there, you're not going to get those calls unless you're a known name. True story. It was a guy that played in El Salvador. I'm not going to mention the player's name or nothing because I don't know if he's still trying to go back overseas or whatever. I think he's playing for some semi-pro team right now. We was over there and he had sprained his ankle in the game. Not we, I wasn't there at the time, but he posted it on Facebook. He sprained his ankle. He dropped 40. He said, "I still dropped 40 points even with a sprained ankle." Now before that, when it's me, him, and a few other players over there in El Salvador, because we're all trying out for the teams out there, right? He gets stomach poison or he gets sick. He doesn't want to play because he has a stomach because he's sick because he has a stomach something he ate. His stomach was messed up. So he was lucky because he built a connection with the guy that was hosting uh, the the tryout or whatever. He played for that team, and now he's playing semi-pro. You ask why he probably ain't playing back over there? Who knows? It's guys that go over there, they play, they don't get another job after. Seen it happen to one guy, throughout the tryout we had over there. We he got picked up, right? He got picked up. He plays for the team for a team and came home after that year and he ain't play nowhere else. Some of you might be asking, well, if he got picked up by that team and he did his job, why didn't he get picked back up? I haven't talked to that player about that. That's what I seen on the book. You know, like I said, I was fortunate. I went over there. It was contract issues. I came, I came back, played semi-pro in Arkansas in a money tournament. Then after that, went to Mexico in Tijuana. Then I was gonna go back, but once they shut the country down due to COVID, I was staying with someone at the time. Then I end up having, I end up getting my own place and stuff like that. And what the owner was offering at that particular time wasn't enough to cover my expenses. So that's why I didn't go back because it was all he really could afford to pay me when it wasn't enough. But it is sometimes it be like that. So you can be like 40 years old. Like I see at some tryouts, combines, you got this 40-year-old guy in there. He's trying to play pro. Bro, it's over with for you. Everything is young now. 21, 19, 18. They're trying to go young for the upside when you're trying to play overseas basketball or even G League basketball. You're 40, that ship sailed. It's just no one isn't there to tell him that. And now by so many people don't want to play overseas basketball, they'll put it out there like, hey, you got to be born a certain year for us to even consider you. So, like, you really got to ask yourself in the mirror, do you really want this? I know guys who played overseas, played for one team, sat out for nearly 10 years, 10 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years before they got another call to go back over and play. I know two guys in that situation. They just kept grinding. They kept working out. They stayed in shape. They played for semi-pro teams or men's leagues or whatever. They was posting, showing what they're doing and everything like that. You got to remember, now it's a social media world. So now, if you're a basketball player and you're trying to get picked up, post your workouts, post your games. They want to see what you're doing. And then next thing you know, boom. After 10 years after 10 years, goes back over to play in Germany. Another one, after he played in Malta, then went to Morocco, he sat for about to say about 5 years. He sat. I might be wrong on that time, but he did sat. He did sit, not say he did sit, and now he's back over there in Malta playing. He got his family out there, you know. I got another friend. He played semi-pro, played semi-pro in Chicago, and he went to Bolivia. Right, he got his own gym out there. He stayed out there. He ain't come back to the States. Why come back? You got everything you asked for is out there. You got your own clothing brand out there. You got a gym named after your clothing brand. You could play for you playing. You was a coach for a team, and then you're training kids out there, and you're playing for a professional team out there. And what some guys do is they'll get citizenship in that country. So now they're not considered an American. They're like, hey, I got citizenship here, so technically I'm a citizen of this country. That also allows them to stay and play longer too. Because remember, certain countries you only get two Americans, you know. So if I'm in a country and I got citizenship in this country, now I'm not even considered an American. Owners like that. Now owner like, okay, bam, I could take you now, without having to spend much. Like I could give you the money because you're a citizen. But Americans, they some I think they pay us more, you know. But he's not breaking the rule. That saying like he can only have two. Well, technically one of us is an American president. He became a citizen, so now he's a citizen in that country, so he could still get his two Americans. So, guys, if you really want to play professional basketball, you have to. It starts when you're young, working on dribbling, working on shooting, learning the game, working on your fundamentals, your footwork. It's work, guys. Unless you're just gifted, even when you're gifted, your gift will fail you if you stop working. Cause I guarantee you, it's somebody out there that's putting in the work, working on their mental, not being afraid to play in front of that crowd, being able to have a bad night and brush that off, and the next night, go drop 30. Cause yeah, media attacks you over there too. Politics overseas is rough. It's rough because people will, that crowd throw things at you if they don't like you, all that stuff. But you gotta be mentally strong and ready for that. And if you're not, it's not for you. Don't even waste your time. And I mean it. Don't waste your time. Because you'll go there, you'll go over there and get sent right back home. I seen it like last example, and I'm gonna get up out y'all way because I didn't want to spend too much time on overseas talk because I could talk about this all day long from my experiences and stuff. It was another guy. He played semi-pro. He went over to Italy. He signed with an agent. Played in Italy for 1 year, and he ain't been back over there since. He ain't went nowhere else. I believe he came from an NAIA school. So most of the guys that I'm talking about came from D3 NAIAs and D2s, not D1s, you know. And I met them through combines, you know. That's why I said when you play, you should be fortunate that you're able to go over there. Don't take it for granted. But when you're an American going to another country, you better play like an NBA player. That's what they're expecting. But because certain guys just grinded it out, you know, they got an opportunity to go back. There's one guy. Oh yeah, there's one D1 guy I did play with, and he could ball. He played in Spain for a little bit, and he was trying to go back over there. He was playing semi-pro. He's playing ABA now, but they're not picking him because I think it's because it's just his height. He's just short, but the man can shoot. The man can create his own shot, but he's not getting looked at. Again, it's about who you know, your style of play, your resume, and now with social media being involved, it can even come down to is people following you. So with that being said, I'm gonna do another uh recording tomorrow. You know, hopefully by then I have my line in and stuff. But y'all be safe out there, man. And these people is crazy out here. It's 2024, and it's sad we coming into 2024 with certain people who lost family members already. So my prayers is with you all. Be safe, okay? Write down your goals for 2024, and don't just write them down and then toss. No, write them down and execute a game plan. Like my game plan for this, grow my YouTube channel, to grow the podcast to over 5,000 subs, getting over 16,000 to 20,000 views, while still pushing my clothing brand, Shift Squad, as you see right here, and my other clothing brand, Black Gods and Goddess, and being able to move into that studio where now we're going live, you know, and people are, and we got an actual crew, like an actual cameraman, and you know, you'll get a chance to meet the other person, my other co-host and stuff. And basically that's all, that's what we do. And to get sponsorship like from Underdog, Showtime, you know, but we got to start small and then build it up. So I will holler at y'all tomorrow with a hot topic. It's gonna be a surprise, cause I ain't figured it out yet. But y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night.